Hi, my name is Autumn Gilbert, and today I'm going to be doing a presentation on the Chinese Opium Wars. During the 18th century, China was a huge exporter of goods to other countries, most notably England. The English were eager to get Chinese tea, silk, and dishware, and only had silver to offer in return. The British simply didn't have anything that the Chinese truly wanted at this point, so it was a very uneven trade balance. However, in the early 19th century, the British found a product so powerful that it could completely reverse the trade balance with China: opium. Opium that contained 10% morphine mixed with tobacco, both highly addictive substances, which the Chinese would smoke and, as a result, become highly addicted to it. Despite the pleas of the English to ban the sale of opium in China, the British Empire continued smuggling it inland. This came to a head when Lin Zizhu, a Chinese commissioner, ordered the destruction of thousands of pounds of opium in exchange for payment that never came. Lin wrote this pleading letter to Queen Victoria where he explains how opium is destroying their country, how many Chinese people are getting addicted to it, that it's failing their economy, and Queen Victoria presumably never even sees this letter. It is just waved away, and they just say, we're just going to keep importing as much opium as we want into China because that's what's most profitable for us as an empire. China, of course, does not appreciate this. So the two nations go to war. However, there was a huge imbalance of power. Even though China was a massive country in size compared to England, and China had a huge population in comparison to England and all of its colonies, England had the upper hand because of their intense industrialization. They pioneered things like the steam engine, and they were able to craft these massive ships and just do an insane amount of damage during this war. So as a result, the Chinese get utterly crushed during this war. The Chinese emperor accepted defeat and had to sign the Treaty of Nanjing, which had very unfair terms for the Chinese. The Chinese were forced to pay for the war and all of the destroyed opium. Then they had to open up all of their ports to the British again and give up Hong Kong to the British as a colony. The British were also completely immune from being tried by Chinese law and could only be tried by the British government for a crime, which essentially meant that the British could do whatever they wanted in China. As a result of this war, Britain's power only grew from an already incredibly powerful and wealthy nation to one that just seemed unstoppable. Britain had colonies all over the world, in China, in India, and had access to all of these trading ports, which just reaped massive amounts of wealth. Meanwhile, China was left more destitute, not able to industrialize as quickly as Britain, so many more people to control and lead, and it was ultimately a very unfair, one-sided war, and China lost, and as a result suffered consequences, going from an extremely wealthy country to just another exploited colony on Britain's stage. Thank you very much for listening to my presentation. I hope this was informative, and I hope you all have a very great night.